We're going to wait some minutes till some other people will be joining. Well, thank you very much for joining our first free webinar. We're so happy to have you all here. Well, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Mariana Pozzi from English Services. I'm CEO and founder of the company. And well, I don't want to take up more of your time, so I'm going to introduce briefly Diego. We have partnered Compass. It's a very important company. You might have learned about it. We are going to enjoy a talk from Diego Dalman. He's a speaker, a TED speaker. He's a specialist in leadership. He's a consultant, a professor. Well, his resume is very extensive. So, well, it will take up a lot of time if I continue. So, well, this is our free webinar in English of the year. So as you will know, most of the people here are students. So you know our services and you know that we promote different events where you can listen to people speaking in English, and you will practice your English skills and develop them while you are going to, well, learn new concepts, new ideas, new approaches. So this is what Diego is going to talk about, the leader coach, which is a new concept for some of you. Perhaps some of you already know it, but well, it's a real pleasure to have you here, Diego, and well, it's all yours. So
thank you very much, Mariana. Well, it's a pleasure for me. And of course, this will be a conversation. We are gonna talk together, and I would like just, we are going to use the chat, and you can use also, you can raise your hands and participate as well with your mic. So the first question, in order to break the ice, is where are you from? I know that we have people from all over the world, so you can write it down in the chat there. Where are you from? Where are you watching this? Argentina, we have Colombia, Cali, Colombia, many people from Colombia, Buenos Aires, Chile, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Romania also, from Europe as well, Peru, perfect. Well, with Brazil as well, Venezuela, amazing. I like it very much. Well, as I told you, this will be a conversation. Yes, I will share my screen. Of course, we are making a lot of mistakes. Please, Mariana, don't be afraid of that. Just forgive us. But we are making mistakes, and that's the idea. We are going to participate, and it's going to be a conversation. So the idea is to practice and to learn some new skills. So the leader coach, English Services and Compass Latam. So the first question for you is, what does a leader do? I would like to define the terms. What does a leader do? What can you tell me about a leader? What does a leader do?
Obviously.
Ready? We have here Santiago. He told me, he's saying inspire. A leader inspires. Yes. What else?
Motivate.
Motivate your people, Lorena. Yes. What else? Empower. Team builder and empowerment. No? Build teams. And empower is a guide. Perfect. Very well. So here we have more answers. Veronica says, brings out the talent of their teams. Serve to the team. I like that term from Arturo. Service. A leader is service. Sydney is saying listening. Leadership is listening. Elizabeth is saying guiding and mobilizing people. And Melania from Romania, she said resolve issues between people. And Miguel Angel, guide her team to reach their collective goals. So the word goals is also present here. Very, very well. So we define the leader, the term of leader, inspire people's best, says Roberto, and Christian, empathize. Very, very well. So you have very clear the concept of leader. We're gonna to revise it as well. And now we're going to talk about the leader coach. So what does a coach do? What does a coach do? We define the leader, and now I'm interested in knowing what does a coach do. Let's see. Any ideas about coaching? Help improve particular skills, say Arturo. Help. A coach help to improve particular skills. Juliana say, make questions, powerful questions. We all heard about the powerful questions of the coaches. Very well. Facilitator first told me. Andrea said, ask powerful questions, and we are going to come back there. Yes, and we're going to come back to these powerful questions in our presentation. Very well, Andrea. Roberto, a coach analyze a problem or situation and help someone to resolve it. Very well. Analyze it and help someone to resolve it. Try to understand the feelings, Lorena told me. Feelings are involved. Today, we are going to talk also about emotional intelligence. So feelings are really important. Feelings and emotions. Very well, Lorena. Alejandro, facilitate reflection on our own issues. Very well. Accompanying persons, Elizabeth said. Esteban, teach or guide the best approach to achieve the goals. Empower people as well, Fer told me. Provide guidance. Accompanies his report in their development. Very well. So we have the leader, we have the coach. You defined both of them really well. Now we are going to revise it. The origin of coaching is the Socratic method. So let's see, Socrates said, I can teach anyone anything. I can only make them think about the powerful questions you were talking about. I can only make them think. So we talk about leader and we talk about coach. So what differentiates a leader from a coach? Because in some point they can be similar, but on the other hand, it can be really different. It can be really different. So what differentiates a leader from a coach? Who can tell me? This is a tough question. Sorry, Brian?
Hi everyone.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Well.
I think that the coach is more motivational. I think I'm not sure.
Yes.
And the leader is more like a planner. It's different. I think the coach is in the motivation way is different.
It's a different ways of motivating people. Very well, Brian, and very well because you are really brave. Because that's the idea to speak as well. So we have two more brave people here. Lorena, I'm with you.
I don't know. I think the leader need to think in the goals and something like that. For example, for the project, but the coach no. The coach is more, I don't know, motivate and help the person to improve whatever that he needs.
Very well, very well. So the coach is helping you, but maybe it also can help you to reach a goal, for example, as well. Could be. So we're going to go deep here. Very well, Lorena. Andres, I'm with you.
Everyone. Well, as Lorena said, I think the same. Maybe a coach is more focused on the personal goals, personal objectives, the life changes, and a leader is more focused for a group, for a project, or for any business company. So they focus on the goals at the end will be different, focus on the different personal goals in between personal goals between project goals.
Very well, very well. Personal goals and group goals. Very well, Andres. And Jose, how are you?
Thank you. I think the coach is not allowed to share their own opinion, and the leader is allowed and may be useful.
Very well, Jose. Very well. Let's summarize what Jose just said. Jose said that the coach is not allowed to take decisions or to make opinions. Maybe opinions is something that the coach can do, but it's not allowed to take decisions, for example. And the leader has to take the decision. This is something mandatory for a leader. Very well, very well. Elizabeth, I'm with you. How are you?
Hi, for me, the coach understand our feelings and try to help us to be clear about our abilities and skills and help us to improve and develop those skills or abilities.
Very well. And the leader, you told me?
Yeah, the second is the leader. The leader, the coach understand our feelings and understand our abilities, try to us to be clear about our abilities, and the leader help us to develop or to improve that skills.
Very well, very well. So both are helping you in different ways. Very well, Elizabeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Very well, very well, very well. And I have some comments here on the chat. For example, Fer said the coach does not give you advice. Melania said a coach is a leader, but a leader is not necessarily a coach. Very, very interesting about Melania. Andrea, coaching is a way the leader can lead. Very interesting as well. I have some mics open, sorry. Miguel, the coach appears to be a third party which does not share the objectives with the team. Really, really interesting about Miguel Angel. The objectives, right? The leader is a facilitator, say Gabriela. Sorry, could you help me, Clara, with the mix? Thank you very much. Barbie, the leader provides a vision, whereas a coach does more of a practical work. Interesting. Elizabeth said, a coaching, it helps us to be clear about our abilities, and leader help us to develop those skills. Very well, very well. Many comments there. The coach works hardly, soft skills. Well, very well. So I would like to take this, for example. You talk about making decisions. Does the leader make decisions for others? Yes, it's an actual yes. And you mentioned it really just before. The leader has to make decisions. It's something that he has to do, he or she has to do. But the coach make decisions for others. And you told me just now that the coach, yes, Elizabeth, do you want to speak?
Yeah, no, I think that maybe the coach help us to make to take that decisions, no make decision for us.
Very well, excellent, Elizabeth. So the coach doesn't make decisions for others. It gives you the opportunity to arrive to that conclusion or that decision that you have to make. So very well. Andrea said the coach guides to take decisions. Very well, very well. So that's a really big and important difference, yes, about that part, making decisions or making you to take some decisions. So to make some decisions. So if the leader coach is a sum of both, how can she or he make decisions as a leader if the coach part prevents him or her from doing so? So how these two concepts can exist together if it's like a contradiction, right? So could you help me with this? If the leader coach is sum of both, how can he or she make decisions as a leader if the coach part prevents him or her from doing so? Any ideas, any thoughts? It's a difficult question. It's a difficult question, I know, but just take your chance. Let's see. We understand the question, right? How can we have the two concepts together? Can you repeat it? Of course, of course. So we are talking that the leader makes decisions and the coach does not make decisions. It leaves you and gives you the opportunity to make the decisions. So if the leader coach is a sum of both, it's both at the same time, how can G or he make decisions as a leader if the coach part prevents him from doing so, because the coach part doesn't allow the coach, the leader, the coach to make decisions. So how can it really works in the practice, in the real world? You understand? Jose, could you understand the question?
Yes,
Yes.
I think in my case,
Sorry, Julian? I have here some comments in the chat. Vasily, if someone makes wrong decision with coach advice, then leader make it by himself. Good, Vasily. Miguel Angel, giving the tools to the team to decide in the way she do it, or does it behalf of he or she. Juliana said, maybe encouraging the team to make decisions, as yes, like Miguel said before, very well. So maybe the idea, or maybe the discovery here, it will depend on the moment. There will be some moments where the leader has to make decision and the leader part will prevent. And there will be some moments where the coach part will prevent. But it will depend on the moment. In some point, you have to encourage people and empower people in order to your colleagues and your employees to take decisions and to make decisions for their own. But at some point, you have to make decisions as a leader. So it will depend on the moment. I have two more comments here. Right? It's like teaching a kid to ride a bike, Arturo said. The teacher needs to take some turns in order to avoid danger to the kids sometimes. Example of a leader coach. Very, very well example. Very, very nice example from Arturo. Diana told me, he must have the ability and flexibility to adopt each role. I really like that. Ability and flexibility to adopt each role. Jose told me, the leader needs to be prepared to hear from the team that they are not agree with him sometimes. So that's a really important part of being a leader. So it will depend on the moment. Flexibility is the key here. Do you have any leaders like that? Any leader coach in your career? How did they make you feel? I would like to talk about your own leaders, the best leaders you ever had in your career. How did they make you feel? So I want to read some comments about that. Andreas is saying that the leader plays the role of a coach or plays the role of a coach in different moments. Very, very well. That's the idea. Carmen is telling me, when the leader assume the role of coach, what he or she does is influence others to make decisions in their areas. Very well, very well. So about the best leaders you ever had, Juliana is telling me that he confronted the team and he confronted her. Very well. And what else about the best leaders that you ever had? How they did make you feel? Elizabeth is telling me the leader must have coaching characteristics as well, such as active and genuine listening, asking powerful questions, among others. So her best leader, for Elizabeth, ask powerful questions and have active listening. Listening is so important in leadership. Jose told me that they encourage me to think better. A good leader encourages you to think better. He helps you to think better. Really well, really well. So Arturo is telling me, my good instructors are always encouraged to take action because you can do it, always says. You can do it. They always encourage you to take action. And Diana said, the leader sometimes takes the coach role and she tries to encourage me to take decisions. Very well, so he or she empowers you. Melania, my best leaders were also coaches. That's the idea, that's what we're talking about. Very well. So, about feelings, we are talking about feelings here. So the leader coach take care of those around him or her. Maybe sometimes it's not a question of rank, of the position that it's mentioned in your business card. It's just being a leader. It means taking care of people. The people around you, taking care of people. That's the concept of leader. The leader take risks. Imagine in a culture, in a fear culture, where taking decisions could be a problem, or someone could maybe get angry about that. So the leader takes risks. The leader, as you mentioned before in the chat, the leader listens to his people. Active listening, really important in communication. The best leaders listen to his people. Here, realize the skills of its employees. Trust is there, is present. The best leaders I ever known relies on the skills of its employees. That's called empowerment, as you mentioned before. The leaders create a safe environment for error. Right? I need to, in order to be empowered, I need to feel that it's safe for me to make mistakes. It's part of my learning process to make mistakes. Like today, we are speaking in English. It's not our natural language. So we are going to commit mistakes, and that's the idea of learning. The leader coach dedicates time to train her and his team. Dedicates really much time to train her or his team. And also, the leader coach is a continuous learning process. The best leaders I've ever known, they tell me that they told me that they are really learning. They are not experts in leadership. They are still learning because we are dealing with human beings. We are dealing with people, and people get sick, get divorced, have problems in their homes. There are a lot of possibilities here, a lot of situations that you have to deal. So the best leaders I've ever known, they have told me that most important thing, that you are not an expert, you are always learning. They are humble people. It's a great difficulty because it demands time and energy. And if you as a leader don't have time and energy for others, others won't give you their time and energy for you. So it's an equation, it's a balanced equation. We don't get to the numbers. We all the time hear this expression, we don't get to the numbers. We always sacrifice people to save the numbers, but we never sacrifice the numbers to save the people. So really important, it has to be a balance, manage that balance between results and performance, really important, and people. It has to be, they have to take care of that balance. Let's see the Forbes magazine. Organizations that cultivate coaching cultures see more than a 500% return on investment. So the results are there. If we take care of our people will take care of our clients. So the return on investment is huge when we cultivate coaching cultures. This Google experience was really, really helpful to understand the importance of the leader coach and the importance of leadership. Google in 2002 believed that managers were a waste of time, and they unleashed a radical experiment called Project Oxygen. They let all their managers go. Yes, the managers disappeared. What happened here? What did happen? The experiment was a disaster. When we don't have manager, it was a disaster. Maybe they don't have the right leaders in their position in that time in 2002. They actually found that employees crave direction, support, and guidance. We need that kind of leadership. Maybe they didn't have the right leaders in their position that time. So they turned the project into a comprehensive study of the opposite question. The new question of the study now is, what are the common behaviors of the very best managers? What are the common behaviors of the very best managers? And they came up with a list of 10 variable attributes. And the first one, the most important skills in the very best managers, imagine what? A leader coach, a good coach. This study that almost took 20 years, they determined that leader coach, being a good coach, is the most important skill in a leader. This man, you're looking here, the picture, is Daniel Goleman. He wrote a book, very important book called Emotional Intelligence. And he asked how to hire people. We always have a checklist. You have to have this degree, this bachelor degree, this MBA graduate program. You have to speak English and maybe another language as well. You have to be good with computers. Checklist. And he said, no, we're going to check the best employees, the stars of the organization, the top 10%. What do they have in common? The stars of the organization. Goleman get access to more than 200 studies done by companies. 200 studies. What did he realize? Emotional intelligence that is connected with the leader coach is twice as important versus technical skills. Twice as important, the emotional intelligence in leaders. And when you are in the positions, in very important positions, a top leader, 80 and 90% of the competencies are based on emotional intelligence. And I ask you now, why? Why, when you are in a top position, when you are a top leader, 90% of the competencies are based in your emotional intelligence? Why is that? I want to hear from you. Any ideas? Here, Francisco is telling me they work with people, delegate tasks, very important. They work with people, so they have to develop emotional intelligence. Andrea, because the leader works with people, so we have to understand people to understand business. To understand business is understanding people, and to understand people, we have to develop our emotional intelligence. Diana is saying because the emotional intelligence allows manage the mindsets and manage difficult situations. Yes, it allows you to manage difficult situations. High emotional intelligence helps you connect with other people, Elizabeth Tom. How to connect with people. And now we are reaching that point. How to emotionally connect with these people. We are talking about this in just a few seconds. Alfonso, because the leaders need a lot of empathy with their teams. Empathy. Key word here, empathy. What the people are feeling, what my people are feeling. Carmen, because they have more skills to connect with others and empathize. Perfect, that's perfect. So, when we are leading the organization, the important thing is not how do you use your Excel or your CRM, for example, for instance. The important thing is how you connect with people, how you can build trust, for example, how are you listening to your people, all the things you told me about the best leader you ever had. So that's the important thing, and that's emotional intelligence. And the leader coaches are really strong, really good in emotional intelligence. They develop and they learn emotional intelligence. Like Jose said in the chat, they see organizations like a live organism. Very well. So emotional connections. Coach leaders generate emotional connections with others, as you already mentioned. So how can we establish these emotional connections with people? Juliana is telling me managing emotions adds more value, than pursuing numbers regarding the teamwork, commitment, assertive communication, etc. Very well, very well. So how can we establish this emotional connection with people? Any ideas about how can we establish this emotional connection with people? If you want to connect with someone, what you can do? What would you do? Let's see. Yes, Brian?
Maybe to connect with something, you need to know what features this thing has, and check if I have the same similar features to make that connection.
Very well, very well. See what we have in common, right? It's really important to connect. Very well, Brian. That's a very important, a very good way to connect with other people. I have Andrea is telling me building trust, and I would like to go deeper. How do you build trust? Juliana, first of all, listen others more than speaking. Listening is more important than speaking. Really well, really well. I'm watching. I'm seeing Tere here that is nodding, and it's really important. Yes, about listening. Diana is telling me you have to connect with empathy, putting yourself in the place of the other. Very, very important, right? Empathy. Empathy is really strong. It's a superpower. Alfonso, you have mentioned active listening, another key concept of emotional intelligence, Juliana. Very well, Alfonso, very well. Elizabeth, knowing people, seeing them more as peers than as inferiors in their work environment, creating spaces of trust. That's really, really well, really helpful. So connecting emotional connections. You mentioned some examples. So first of all, you should be passionate about helping others. For example, empathy people is passionate about helping others. I don't know if you watch this TV show, New Amsterdam, about this physician that is a new director of a public hospital in New York. And he's passionate. He's really passionate about helping people. Let's see this.
Dr. Goodman?
How can I help? How can I help? How can I help? How can I help? Imagine I just said, how can I help in Tuvalu? How can I help? Just shout it out. Max Goodwin, how can I help? 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 I need your help. How can I help? That's very good. Because I just want to know, how can I help?
Well, when you are helping people, right, people also helps you. No, it's like that. It's like that. Passionate about helping people. That's another important thing to take into account when connecting with other people emotionally. I have some comments here in the chat that maybe you already watched that TV show. Alfonso, we need more leaders and less bosses. Definitely, yes, and a huge difference between leaders and bosses. Very well, Alfonso. Nelson, this series is amazing. It's like that, it's for sure. Elizabeth, he builds trust in this way as he brings people closer to him by empathizing and offering help. Amazing, very well. Trust, building trust, like Andrea mentioned before. Diana, you have to create a sense of belonging in others, a sense of belonging. Juliana, being servant leaders. I really like that concept of servant leaders, servant leadership, to be in service of others. Gabriela, confidence in our teammates. Very well. Adrian from Compass, the president of Compass. Nice to have you here, Adrian. Servant leadership is not new, but it has become important again. It's really true. It's not a new concept, but it's so important nowadays. because we need to connect with people. We are working in hybrid workplaces, so we need to understand how to connect with people and how to be in service of our people. Very important, very well. So another factor, you should generate a sense of purpose. We talk a lot about generating a sense of purpose. So what is a sense of purpose? What is purpose? Can anyone explain it to me or to all of us? What is a sense of purpose?
I really like that concept, sense of purpose, because it's like that we are part of something. It's not only me, it's us. It's really beautiful, that concept.
For sure, it's a really beautiful concept, and as you mentioned, it's not about me, it's about us. It's about belonging, right? Very well, Elizabeth. What else about sense of purpose? What does it mean? Purpose is like a goal, but with all good sense. Very well, Alfonso. It's a goal, but with all good sense. I really like that definition. Jose, bring out the final goal. Yes, yes. The purpose is related to the why. I don't know if you watch that TED Talk with Simon Sinek about start with why, is called. Start with why. Why are we doing this? Why are we getting from the bed every morning, getting up from the bed? So what's the reason? What's the purpose? What's the goal? Natalia told me, allowed us to know how our participation affects the total. Wonderful. Our contribution to the total, our contribution to for example, to an organization. Andrea, understand why we work. Understand why we work. Very, very clever definition. Very clever definition, Andrea. Very well. Understand why we work. So if we understand why we do what we do, it creates motivation, because you are doing what you believe, right? Mariana is telling me, understanding why we do what we do, what we are doing. Exactly. That's the idea. That's the concept. Purpose is our motivation towards something. Shared purpose is powerful because it unites those in a group to work toward a particular thing. Very well. It unites people. That's wonderful. So about that, a sense of purpose, I want to share with you this scene from the movie of Mandela, Invictus. And I want to ask you a question when we watch this. Let's watch it.
Brenda, please assemble all the staff for me. All those who haven't already left.
Right now, all of them?
Yes, please.
Yes, Madiba. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to follow me, please. The president would like to speak with you.
Here he comes. Yeah. He wants the satisfaction of firing us himself.
I'd like you to stay out here.
Yes, but Madiba,
I cannot talk to them hiding behind men with guns. Goedemorgen, allemaal. Good morning. How are you this morning? Fine. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Some of you may know who I am. I could not help noticing the empty offices as I came to work this morning, and all of the packing boxes. Now, of course, if you want to leave, that is your right. And if you feel in your heart that you cannot work with your new government, then it is better that you do leave right away. But if you are packing up because you fear that your language or the color of your skin or who you worked for before disqualifies you from working here, I am here to tell you have no such fear. What is verbay is verbay. The past is the past. We look to the future now. We need your help. We want your help. If you would like to stay, you would be doing your country a great service. All I ask is that you do your work to the best of your abilities and with good heart. I promise to do the same. If we can manage that, our country will be a shining light in the world.
So here, in this scene, what you can tell me about the purpose? What's the sense of purpose that he's giving his people in this first meeting? And also you can talk me about emotional intelligence here, if you notice the reaction of the people. So what's the sense of purpose here?
For me, he knows that these are people who have the knowledge that he need to continue his work. He made them feel that they could bring all that knowledge to his government.
Very well, very well. The knowledge of the people and to continue and to share it with the government. Very well. Very well, Elizabeth. Andrea, clarity, clarity. Juliana, serving the country, right? Very important purpose, serving the country. That unites everyone, right? Fabricio, make something good for the country as well as Juliana. Inclusion, Andrea told me. Natalia, all working together in order to achieve the same goal. Yes? And he emphasized, we need your help. We want your help in order to make South Africa a country that inspires the whole world. So imagine that sense of purpose. If you are there, if you are working with him and you have Mandela there, that kind of leader, and he asked for your help, and he told you, he's telling you that it's really important because you are working for your country and to be an inspiration for the world. So it motivates you. That's a leader coach, right? Alfonso, some people were afraid because they thought they were fired, but the purpose of their leader was very different because he promoted the inclusion and diversity. Amazing, Alfonso, amazing. Because as you notice, about emotional intelligence, about discovering emotions in other people, managing emotion in other people, people were afraid. They were afraid of losing their jobs. But that purpose, that speech of the president, of the leader coach, unites everyone. Gabriela, working together for a common objective, creates a new dialogue space, designs new relationships, Santiago is telling me. Gabriela, work together and understand that talent is necessary to achieve the goal. Very, very good, very good. We work together. The sense of purpose. It gives you emotional connection. So remember, emotional connection, building trust, helping others, and sense of purpose. Create a sense of purpose. What else? We have to create connections. This is a story about purpose as well. This study that was conducted in the US with hospital workers. There were janitors, people who work like cleaning the toilets, changing the bed sheets, for example, and many of them were unmotivated. There's some duties that they have to do in order to survive, yes, to earn their salary. But there were some people of these janitors that they think they have a sense of purpose, and they believe that with their work, they were helping the hospital, they were facilitating the operation of the hospital, and they were helping the patients. They were contributing to the wellness of their patients. So they do another things like talking with the patients and with the patient's family. These people, this group of people, this group of janitors that they considered that they were helping other people, they were facilitating, they were operating the hospital, they were happier, they show more commitment, they have a better performance than the rest. And they repeat the same experiments with doctors and nurses, and it was the same. One group, some duties that they have to do in order to survive, and some group of nurses and doctors saw their own work like a mean to contribute to other people, a sense of purpose. They repeated also this experiment with hairdressers, teachers, engineers, same results. People who have a sense of purpose, are happier, show more commitment, and are really and performs better. Really important conclusion of this study. Understand the deep sense of their works, Andrea is telling me, and that's the idea, understanding the deep sense of their work. The worker always has some influence to the essence of their work. So ask yourself, what is your purpose? What's the purpose of the company that you're working for? And is there a link between them? Really important thing, and really important thing in order to take into account when we are talking about leader coaches as well. How do we create purpose? Number 3, you should pay attention to details. In order to connect, to emotionally connect with other people, you should pay attention to details, to surprise people, right? And I want to share with you what the Coldplay, the musical band Coldplay, what did they do when they arrived to República Dominicana and the concert in República Dominicana? What Coldplay did? Let's see.
Te regalo una rosa. Te regalo una rosa. La encontré en el camino. No sé si está desnuda o tiene amor. No lo sé. Si la riega el verano o se embriaga de olvido. Si alguna vez fue amada o tiene escondido.
Well, imagine, why do people get emotional here? Why do people get emotional? And I want to see your reactions. Bachatealo, Coldplay, Alfonso. Very nice reaction. Unexpected, right? Surprise, unexpected. Details, attention to details. Here, República Dominicana, Alfonso is present there. Very well. So, why do people get emotional about this? Unexpected, Elizabeth is telling me. He's looking for connections. Yes, Elizabeth. Yes.
No, because it's a entirely English concert, and you don't expect that singer speaking Spanish in your native language.
It's the last thing you expect, right? It's the last thing you expect because
exactly.
Very well. But he's making an effort here, right? Valerie, I'm with you.
Yes, and he's using symbols that are important to connect with the people of Dominicana, just like bachata. So bachata and also Spanish, that they are singing in Spanish. Yeah, I think it's a great connection, unexpected, and that makes feel the people feel that they are caring for doing some special, for knowing the other people and what is important for them.
Excellent, excellent, Valerie. People felt special.
Yeah.
People, yes, very well, because he's taking the time to learn maybe the lyrics, understand the culture, the bachata culture, to study for that song. Very well, very well. Here, Agustin, same way we are now looking at the video, exactly, unexpected and surprised. Heart-to-heart connection, Juliana is telling me, heart-to-heart connection. That we are looking for when we saw these emotional connections, when we have leader coaches, right? This surprise touched them at a personal level. Very well, very well. Francisco, I remember they sung Soda Stereo music in the last concert 2017 in Buenos Aires. It's true. They are always looking for connections. And they, of course, they are making mistakes because it's not their native language, like we are making mistakes as well in English. It's part of the process, but we value that effort. They are putting effort to understand the culture, to understand the language, to connect in a deep level. That's important. That's really important. Elizabeth, recently at the concert, he had a special area for deaf people with handles that allowed them to feel the vibration of the music. It was spectacular, a great singer, total inclusion. That's a really good example as well, yes? A special area for deaf people to feel the music, amazing. It's caring for another people, that's empathy, that's emotional intelligence, and that's something that we can do if we take the time and effort to take care of other people, right? Very well, very well. And you should recognize others as well as a mean to connect emotionally with people. You should recognize others, right? How do you feel when you are recognized at work, for example? You feel good, right? It feels really good when you recognize someone. We have to take the time, but we never take the time to recognize someone that maybe he or she did a great job, and we have to take the time to recognize. That's the emotional salary. Of course, money is important, yes, but we also value the emotional salary, that recognition. Do we have recognition? Are we recognizing enough? That promotes health and wellness, that increases productivity, and that promotes collaboration with teams and colleagues. That's something that we see a lot in Compass. We are helping companies and teams that are working in silos, right? They are not working together. And maybe with some cheap strategies like recognition, that is, it does not cost any money to recognize someone, maybe from another team, not from your team, maybe from another team. Promotes collaboration, right? And the last one I want to share with you today is about asking powerful questions. That's important in order to connect emotionally with people and to become a leader coach, to develop that skills, because it's a skill that you can develop. So powerful questions, they help you empower people because they lead them to reflect, broaden their perspective, and find the solutions within themselves. Finding the solutions within themselves. Examples of powerful questions. What is your opinion regarding this situation? What do you think is the best way to solve it? Yes, they are open-ended questions. For questions to be powerful, they must be open-ended. No answers for yes or no. You have to ask open-ended questions. So take that in mind when you are active listening. Right? You are practicing listening with your people, with your colleagues. You have to listen really carefully and to be present 100% present there. Not be distracted by your phone and by your computer. You have to be there, and you have to ask open-ended questions in order people, maybe some people could find their own solutions and their own answers to the questions, right? To the things and the topics that they have in mind. So just to make it like to take into action, no? The take action, I want to go here. Take action, take to action. The idea is that you can take one or two ideas that all we studied today and take it into action, no? What does a leader do? Yes, we talk about the leader, people who take care of those around you. What does a coach do? Yes, maybe the guidance, they are here with you and they ask powerful questions. The difference is between the two concepts. We talk about the leader coach. Yes, the leader coach, this new innovation in leadership. We saw the results and the impact on results and performance, for example, in companies like Google. We studied that Google case, and we studied emotional intelligence and leadership. That's a very deep link between leadership and emotional intelligence. And we were talking about emotional connections, how we can emotionally connect with someone. And we are giving some strategies, helping others, very important. The New Amsterdam example, the sense of purpose, like Mandela Invictus. Why are we doing what we are doing? Why is it important? Who are we impacting, right? So recognition. Are we recognizing enough? Recognition, really important. We also talked about attention to details and the Coldplay example, right? Are you surprising people? Are you paying attention to details? And we talk about the powerful questions. We talk about the powerful questions that lead people to think and maybe to find their own solutions. So before the feedback and some questions, maybe Q&A, I want to thank you really much for your participation. I want to thank English Services team, Compass team. It was a pleasure for me, and especially thank you for being there and being for your participation and for being brave, because it's not easy to talk in another language in front of everyone. So we have to do it. We have to take the courage and do it. Here, if we have some questions that I can reply today, you can reach me at my social media at Diego Dalman. And thank you very much on behalf of English Services and Compass Latam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.